Hey everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino, back again to do my especially lovely post-market wrap-up for this day, Wednesday, Fed Day, September 26th, 2018. Why are you looking at me like that? Yeah, I'm just being silly. We have a lot to talk about. Let's start off with this. First of all, wow, did I get this day wrong with regard to the market. But I want to elaborate a little further with regard to how this all played out. Very interesting, especially lovely. Okay. So, no surprise to any of you that follow this blog. For the longest time, I've been explaining to you that the Federal Reserve was going to raise the federal funds rate 25 freaky, lovely basis points. Well, that's exactly what they did today. And the market loved it. As soon as this announcement came out, boom! Stocks vaulted higher. Dow Jones Industrial Average was up about triple digits. Everyone was all happy and gleeful. Now, if you recall, from this morning, when I did my market report, I explained to you that there was an epic amount of bond buying going on. I mean, it's just too stupid. In my opinion, why would anyone be buying bonds? And we have more to talk about with regard to this. Prior to an announcement, knowing that rates are going higher. It makes no sense, and it shouldn't make any sense to you. I'm going to buy a bond now with that yields X, but tomorrow it'll yield higher. So why not buy tomorrow or the next day or next week or the supposed next Fed rate hike in December, which I want to talk about that too. So again, we got the announcement today before it is Powell. Opened his pathetic mouth. The guy, it's insane. How this man, the head of the Fed chair, in my opinion, seems like a timid little boy when he's sitting there. It's embarrassing. It really is. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But, again, market reacted in a positive way. Okay, no surprise. I actually said that would happen. But then it starts to speak. And as soon as he opened his mouth, the first few syllables, stock started to kind of lose ground a little bit. And then he kind of got backed into a corner several times. If he was asked, I have a problem saying that word, specifically why the word accommodative was taken out of the Federal Reserve statement. Well, it seemed to take him by surprise because he was kind of running around, beating around the bush, and he actually said this. After that, he goes on to say, well, even though it didn't appear in the statement, the Federal Reserve will still be exercising accommodative monetary policy. Well, that's interesting. I'll tell you what else is interesting. He completely, and I took a snapshot of this and posted it all over my social networks, contradicted our president. Yeah. Well, he said, our economy is doing very well, but there are some problems here. That doesn't sound like an economic boom or as good as it gets. So there's some kind of an issue between the two. Maybe they're not talking to each other enough, or maybe they're not on the same page, but one of these here is getting it a little wrong. And we know who that is. It's our president. There's no doubt about it. All you need to look at is, you know what to look at, the labor force participation rate, which is lower today than it was during the financial crisis. Yeah, and it has nothing to do with the 4 million retirees per year that we are getting, because that number is being replaced and then some. 5 million people are entering the workforce every year. So we have a net gain of 1 million. But there are some that want you to look here, don't look here. The fact is we have more people entering the workforce than leaving. Meanwhile, we have a labor force participation rate today lower than the financial crisis. We also have a money velocity, the rate at which cash is moving through our lovely economy, maintaining its near historic low. How can that possibly be? This is as good as it gets, right? So look, we understand where we are here. We have an inflated stock market on the back of a debt bubble, period. It's the most twisted market in world history as far as I'm concerned. It's really the truth. So let's now that I got that out of the way, let's move closer to where we are right now, because I'm talking about the past earlier today with regard to it talking. All of a sudden, a surge, even greater than earlier today, went on in the bond market, buying up bonds like mad. Well, something's up here, because Powell, also explained how a December hike was, gonna happen pretty much. So, somebody had to own bonds right now. Some mysterious entity out here had to have those bonds right now that will be yielding lower than they will in December. No, let's just go into the market now and buy them. This was a deliberate attempt to prop up stocks. No investor in their right mind would be buying a bond here. You understand? It's just not going to happen. So this is in-our-face rigging, like, there's no scale to measure this by. The Richter scale is just won't work in this case. There's just no doubt about it. Anyway, and the dollar also got weaker after this whole thing. So you can see what's going on, people. You've got to be deaf, dumb, blind, or stupid not to understand that this managed market is just what it is. Now, so the last half hour of trading, stocks sold off with the Dow Jones Industrial Average had a triple-digit loss by the end of the day. I mean, what a wild ride on Wall Street. It's incredible. So look, we have to understand where we are at, and this does not mean by any stretch of the imagination that this is it and the market's going to now tumble. They're going to manage it just like they've been doing, like they tried to do today by propping up that bond market. It didn't work. So what will they do? The Federal Reserve has their own trading desk, along with the investment banks, all the Wall Street banks, and the other world central banks who also have trading desks. So what do you think they're going to do? Do you think they're going to allow the stocks to free fall right here? No freaking way. Unless, of course, there is going to be that moment, no doubt about it, when this all does correct the fair value. But not now, with the midterms coming here. I don't think it's going to happen. I just don't see it. Could I be wrong? Sure. Maybe this is the top, but I doubt it. I think that right now, world central banks, our Federal Reserve, is going to put a list together of all the stocks they're going to buy tomorrow. And they're going to start propping up the futures more than likely. It's going to be fun. Tomorrow is going to be another comical freaking Disneyland day. Seriously. Anyway, what am I forgetting to talk about? I don't even know here, people. It's just completely insane. So, another thing. What I'm trying to set up here is, if I have the time to do this, I think it would be fun. I'm going to do some, or at least attempt to, try to do a live streaming video. I'm not even sure how it works yet. I'm trying to get it to work. I can't get it to work. But if I do, tomorrow, whenever, I will talk about it so you guys can chat and I can answer your questions or talk live with all of you. I think that would be kind of fun for all of us. So we'll see if I can get that to work. Hopefully I can. If I can't, at least I gave it a shot. Anyway, let's keep our eyes on all this stuff, people. It's just too much. It really is. Anyway, with that said, we will resume these festivities in the lovely morning. See you then.